All right, Eric Hancock, the EMOM Box, live on best hour of their day. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleased to be here.
Right before we started recording, we were commenting on your virtual background on the Zoom call. I've, of course, added mine, but you have the Gary V background. I have the Office background. Let's
Yeah.
let's what's your favorite thing about Gary V?
I would definitely have to say the energy. That's that was I think was one of the things that attracted me to him initially. I listen to quite a bit of his content sometimes because in my business I don't really have a business partner. It's just kind of me. So if I'm packing orders or doing something, I kind of like to have his content playing because it's especially the 4D stuff. It's kind of like business. It's business talking, people bouncing ideas off of each other, and it kind of just puts me in this good headspace and mindset for creativity and things like that. And I remember I was actually driving back home from doing an in-person event during the CrossFit Open. I was set up at a gym, CrossFit Chesapeake, actually a couple hours east of me, and was just scrolling through some stuff on my phone to pick something to listen to on the way home. And that's actually how I found Gary Vee. And I just remember, I'm like, man, this guy is like so pumped up about everything, and he tells it like it is. So that's really what keeps me coming back for more with him. Anytime I feel like I need a little extra kick in the butt on the business or marketing side of things, then I know I can lean on that content pillar, and it always delivers for me. So
Well, super highly motivating. And, you know, speaking of Gary Vee and entrepreneurship, that's what I want to talk to you about. I'm always impressed by people that get involved in CrossFit, find this thing, and then they're like, hey, I love it. What can I do within it? Whether it's open an affiliate, whether it's, create some sort of programming, or like you've done, create a whole new product. And of course, you have the EMOM box. So, I'm excited to hear about that. And I want to know, firstly, what gave you the idea, and what was your prompt to start this?
sure. Yeah. Well, actually, we'll take you back even farther. So the EMOM box has been around this March. We did was the second anniversary. So at this point, the May box will be like the 26th, 27th iteration of the EMOM box. So prior to that 2 year, stint of me running EMOM box, I actually ran an Amazon store. I've always been kind of entrepreneurial my whole life. Worked in motorcycle dealerships and did merchandising and branding and things. Uh, you know, in my early adult career, by the time I was 17, 18, was when I first started working in dealerships and just kind of grew my love for branding and sales and marketing and things like that through those channels. So I got away from that though, just through, one thing leads to another, and this happens in your life, this happens in your life. And so I kind of felt myself about 4 years ago, kind of getting that itch of wanting to try to get into my own thing. So the Amazon FBA, kind of was hot, and there's a whole lot of buzz around that. It was easy to start. You could do it out of your home. It was really low overhead. So I kind of dove into that, and ran an Amazon store for a little over a year, kind of doing similar to what I do with EMOM Box. I was kind of reaching out to brands and saying, hey, I'd love to represent your product on Amazon FBA. And I had a few brands that I developed some really strong partnerships with, actually, and it was working great. But Amazon's kind of the wild, wild west in terms of, the back end with fulfillment and things like that. There's some brands on there that are absolutely killing it, but for a little guy like me, it got overwhelming pretty quickly. And so I was listening to another I do a lot of podcasting. Yes, I still work a day job actually too. And I commute a lot for that. So I listen to hours and hours of podcasts while I'm out driving on the road. And this guy was actually on there talking about a bass fishing subscription box. And he was just going on and on about it. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but he's like, yeah, you sign up, and then, these people, they're expert fishermen. They put together these baits that are working great for them. They'll pair it up with, their favorite jig or whatever else, and then they'll give you recommendations on how to use it, what kind of water, what the climate, things like that. And he's like, I just love this. It's the greatest idea. And so that kind of got the wheels turning in my mind. And I was like, huh, you know, I could do something like that. I love gear and things like that. Like in fitness, I can do that. I can do that. So that was like October, and it took me until January of the following, the next few months to get everything kind of set, rolling, get the LLC created, kind of figure out how I was going to do this thing. And then from there, yeah, EMOM Box was born in January of 2018. And, and it's been a wild ride ever since.
So know what's funny? As you're saying that, I'm thinking about the EMOM box, and as long as I've known you, we're going on a few months now, and you've included Thunderbro in your box, and we're doing that again in the May box. Literally just dawned on me every month on the month.
That's right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where the name came from.
I was like, I just figured it was, a CrossFit term, but then I'm like, wait a second. Now that
Yep.
So really smart name there, although it took me a little while to figure it out. I like it. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
let's talk more about the box. You've been doing it 2 years. Has it become easier to get people to contribute to the box?
Yes and no. So that's like I always tell everybody, when we're talking about partnering up to work in the box and things like that, the box curating is the hardest part, but I feel like a lot of that is actually because I put a lot of pressure on myself when it comes to curating the boxes. Like I said, I'm the one man show. I do everything here. If you have a customer service issue and you reach out via email, Instagram, text message, a phone call, whatever it is, like I'm the guy. I'm your guy that you're going to talk to. That's going to take care of your problem. That you're going to vent to, whatever else. So I want to make sure, my box is $49 a month, and that's a good amount of money. That's nothing to sneeze at, especially if you subscribe and stay on for 4 and 5 and 6 months. And I take that very seriously. And I want to make sure that everybody that gets their hands on an EMOM box is going to be absolutely thrilled with it. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure that I'm curating the very best box. And kind of just like we were chit chatting a little bit before we started recording, like I try to get my hands on everything to at least give it a little bit of a test run, to make sure that it is something that's valuable, it is good quality, that I can kind of align with the entrepreneur or the brand owner, or the brand stance across the board. I take a lot of things into consideration when I'm curating the boxes, and like I said, just taking it very seriously, I feel like sometimes makes it a little bit harder, but hey, I'm always up for the good challenge. I just want to make sure everybody's super, super stoked with what they're getting in their box every month.
Yeah, you were telling me that you threw on the chesty and you loved it.
Yeah, that's right. That's fake news, everybody.
So, over the years, let me ask you a few questions about the box. What
Sure.
was the And I know, all right, so you get a lot of brands. I don't, answer this to the best you can. What was the coolest thing you ever added to the box, aside from the
Oh,
Thunderbro stuff
gosh.
that I've given you?
That's right. Yeah, the
So
Thunderbro
let's,
products are great. Again, like they're products that I've used. I've gotten the ebooks. I've been on the program, the Muscle Anarchy program, for a little bit and checked it out. And so I really like when I can get it excited about something. It makes me that much more excited to pass it along to all the subscribers out there worldwide. Another thing that blows my mind is that I send boxes all over the world. I can't even imagine. It makes you feel really small when you think about things in the grand scope. But our very first box had an RPM session jump rope in it. That was a really popular item, and that's an item that I've used as a staple since I've been doing CrossFit for years and years, really kind of since they started their brand. So that's kind of been one of my favorite items. I don't know. I think I've kind of started to gear a little more towards apparel pieces when I'm doing curation. I think that everybody can always use more, shorts and shirts and things like that. So I've developed some pretty good relationships with a lot of brands out there: Barbell Voodoo, Tango Charlie. I'm really excited about the
shout out to
partnership this month.
Tango Charlie. I love that
Yes.
sweatshirt.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Rest Day Vibes. Yeah, that is one of
Yeah,
your favorites.
that's my favorite sweatshirt. It's super comfortable. I remember when, I ordered it. You were like, "Hey, they come long." I love it. Perfect.
Excellent, excellent. That was
And
the
that's one thing.
December box.
Yeah, that's one thing you do differently. There's a handful of boxes out there, but one thing you do really cool is afterwards you do sell some of the items.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. If I have enough stuff, left over, it's kind of tough because everybody's different sizes. Sizes run differently, so that's another challenge that I've been working through is trying to tighten up to make sure I have enough inventory and then have a little bit left over that I can do some size exchanges if need be. But like I was telling you, this month boxes flew out so fast. I actually had to make two additional orders with the chesty to make sure that I was going to have everything I needed to fulfill all the boxes that we sold this month, and we sold completely out. I just got to the point where I was like, I'm not going to be able to meet the shipping deadline at this point, so I'm going to have to cut the sales off. And that was a
So,
few days ago, so cut it down right to the wire. But yeah,
well, congrats on that.
thank you.
So you mentioned one of the coolest products, your jump rope, which is awesome. What's been the most valuable box you've sent out? So you charge $49 a box, correct?
Hmm.
And
Yep, that's right.
is it all subscription model?
Yeah, for the most part, I do sell, like you were saying, if I have product that's left over, I will put them up on the pass boxes section of the site, and they are a little bit more at that point because I'm having to go in and individually fulfill orders. So a pass box is $52. If you're on a monthly subscription, it's $49, and then you basically save like $2 if you sign up for a longer term subscription. So if you signed up for a 3-month subscription, it would only be $47 a box. And that just kind of is because it makes it a little easier for me to plan. Just like I was talking about sizing and having inventory and making sure I've got enough to fill everybody's orders is tough. So if I can plan out 90 days or more in advance, it makes things a little easier for me. And I'd like to pass along a little incentive for folks that sign up for a little bit longer terms like that.
So lo- around $49 a box, great price. And I know every month you say what it's going to give you at least $79. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's $80 or more in value. And so like this month, the ladies box ended up being a little bit more valuable than the guys because the chesty sports bra is like a $62 item, and then the shorts were $45. But the guys box this month was over $100 value, and the ladies box was $120 value. So I love it when I can hit over that $100 retail mark in value. And we hit that pretty often, depending on again, there's so many things to balance: size, weight, shipping is super expensive. So yeah, I love when the pieces can come together and that retail value creeps north of 3 digits for you.
So do you remember the most expensive box in value that you've sent out?
I think that one month I had one that was like 150-ish or more dollars. The first box that you guys worked with me in December on actually had a very high retail value on it because you got the hoodie. There was a few other items in there, gear items, and then you got the Muscle
There was
Anarchy.
a
You
socks,
also
there was a hat, like a really nice
Yes.
vortex hat. Yep.
Oh, that was January actually. You're right. That there was a virus hat. There was
Virus hat. Yeah, virus.
a raglan from Lifting Culture that was awesome. And then we had you guys' programming a month of that, and then it was Macro Stacks put up a month of
Right.
macro tracking. And so then Lifting Culture actually put in a gift card. So that was easily well over $60 worth of stuff that was not actually a physical, tangible product, but just retail value that you were getting additionally in the box. So that one was that was the New Year, New You box. Let's kick 2020 off right. So yeah, that was a good one.
So, being around for 2 years, is it more now people are reaching out to you, or are you still having to reach out to a lot of people?
I'd say it's kind of like 50-50 now. Most of the time when brands reach out to me, it's that they're kind of newer. They're just starting out. A brand like The Chesty or Born Primitive, for example, they've been around for 5+ years, 6+ years now. And so, they've got a really good marketing base, and a lot of times it'll be me reaching out to those brands to strike up partnerships. But I worked with, I'm just looking around my workspace here right now, and I see there's a brand called Coach Soak. We featured them in the March box, and they're a newly launched brand, and they actually ended up reaching out to me. Another brand that I've got actually a roll of tape in the May box from a brand called Deceitful Strength. And similar thing, they launched here not too long ago, so they reached out. And then last month, there was a brand that's newly formed called Bands, and they are kind of they make the headbands that are similar to like a junk band, but they have their own design and spec and things like that. And they reached out as well. And again, I love that stuff. When we can reach out, we can connect over the phone, chit chat, kind of get each other's stories. And then 9 times out of 10, when I work with a company in a box, we end up forming a long-term partnership, and that brand will be featured in multiple EMOM boxes. And I really, really like that, as well. So.
Yeah, I mean that's what's great for us. I'm sure if there's companies listening, it's like sure you have to give 1,000 chesties, or it's not 1,000 because it's just for the females, but at the same time, like we saw with Thunderbro, those people, if you have a good product, are going to stay within your ecosystem for a long time. So,
Definitely.
it's not free marketing, but it's also not, at least you're putting the product in the hands of the people that support you, and the people that buy the EMOM box are the same people that are buying this type of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, you're getting your products in the hands of, I guess if you want to use marketing terms, qualified leads. It's not cold. You're not doing cold outreach or whatever, hoping that someone's into fitness or into the type of fitness that your brand is kind of more so speaking to. If you want to talk in terms of CrossFit or functional fitness. So yeah, you're getting your hands in the products of people that are into that stuff, and that's what they do day in and day out. And it's really, again, the type of fitness that we do is more than, I feel like the average person, the average gym goer. I feel like fitness for people that train in the way we do and train as hard as we do, it really is truly a lifestyle. And so I like working with companies that have that fitness lifestyle, branding and things like that.
Yeah, know what I'm most excited about in this box, other than my chesty, is the whiteboard.
Yeah. That was an idea actually that hit me. I did a one-off
My wife is
box.
excited for the chesty, by the way. She heard me say that,
Yeah,
and she's
excellent. Yeah, the shorts, like I was telling you, the shorts are fantastic. They are
yeah, they
such
look
great quality.
sweet. I like those
Yeah, that
colors.
print is awesome. Yeah. And the Chesty is such a unique product, anyways, for the lady. The actual Chesty sports bra, such a unique product.
My
Shout out to Nicole and the crew down there. They're fantastic. They're great.
A good friend of mine, member of my first box, Tiff Zemplinski, is one of their main models. I don't know if you know Tiff, blonde girl.
No, I don't know her.
Well, she was like their first ever sponsored athlete, and
That's
so
awesome.
she
Small
was
world.
rocking the chesty back in the day. So, and I mean, I've seen plenty of women wearing them, so I know how great those are. But yeah, you were telling
Yep.
me, and the reason I brought it up is because my wife's about to work out. It looks like in our extra bedroom, and we have a whiteboard on the kitchen for like notes and whatnot. And she just
Yeah.
wrote some. I saw her writing this whole thing down, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get our whiteboard for the extra bedroom.
That's
Yeah, it's
right.
gonna be.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it, so you're getting a couples box. The cool thing about it is it's actually dual sided. So you guys
Oh,
can
so she
share it,
gonna.
if you need. Yeah, you can put your stuff on one side, she can put hers on the other. But I did, I think it was back around October or November timeframe. I did a one-off box. I actually train in my garage and have for the past 5 years or so. I've kind of always had a home gym. Even when I was a kid growing up, my dad maintained a pretty cool home gym. And so I've trained in affiliates and boxes and MMA gyms and things like that before, but just with my work schedule and I have 3 kids and things like that, the garage gym just seemed to make a lot of sense for me. So I've kind of gone full ham into building my garage gym, and we've got a really sweet setup outside. And so I decided to curate a box that was specifically for uh, the people that do train at home. It had a sandbag, fat grips, in it, and a couple of other things. Had a T-shirt in it that said "The neighbors think we're nuts." If you train at home, in your garage, that feeling. But yeah, actually, one of my buddies that ended up buying the box was like, "Hey, man, it'd be really cool if you could get the next time you do one of these, if you could put a whiteboard in here." He's like, "I don't really have anywhere to write down my programming." He's like, "If I go pick up my phone, to look at what my next set is or whatever," he's like, "then I get, sucked. There's an email, there's a text." He's like, "And then 15 minutes have gone by and I haven't done anything." And I was like,
Yeah.
"That's an awesome idea."
I think that's
So
one of
when
the
all of this,
biggest downfalls of training by yourself and training off a phone. It's like you need to be on your phone to see the programming, but
yep,
then you very easily get distracted. So I
you
like,
do.
I follow, of course, Thunderbro programming on SugarWOD, and that's the issue. And now it's like, cool, I love to be able to write it down because I don't need my phone on me.
Yep, definitely. And that was one of the things when I got the Get Huge ebook that you guys had. That was primarily the training I was doing at the turn of the year, December, January timeframe, and it was awesome because it's just 8 sets. Pretty much eight. It's like 8 by 8. You're doing 8 different exercises, and I would set a timer for 75 minutes or whatever, and I would just go to work. You didn't need, once you wrote the programming down, you got the timer set over there to
Yeah,
manage your
that's
rest.
it.
That's it. That's all you need. So yeah, that was a really cool thing that I liked about that product a lot. But yeah, with everything that's going on now, obviously everybody's gym has been closed. I felt like it was something that I could bring a lot of value to folks in the May box by adding that little whiteboard in there. I actually was going to try to curate a whole box for May around home gym equipment, but nobody had any that they were willing to part with.
Oh, well,
One
right
of the
now it's
downfalls,
high
yeah,
commodity, right?
high demand. One of the downfalls about being a subscription box is, of course, you do have to rely on other brands and manufacturers and things like that to provide your products. And sometimes, it gets tough because you have to accommodate, what kind of demand they have and things like that. And so, but now I guess I'm kind of glad that that didn't work out because I know a lot of states are actually kind of lifting the bans and people are starting to go back to the gym again. So, you know, everything happens for a reason, I guess. And that one ended up working out for me.
I got an idea for your next box, Eric. The
Shoot, let's have it.
the the you can't wear it though. The EMOM Box face mask.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, I haven't touched my beard since the barbershop closed. I was 2 days away from going in to get a haircut a couple months ago, and Virginia came through and closed all of the barbershops and non-essential
Same.
businesses.
You could see
And
it on my
I haven't touched. Yeah, the hair, the beard is going crazy.
Your
And
beard
I'm
looks
like, you know
good.
what?
Beard looks
Thank you,
really
thank you. I
good
appreciate it.
for not getting in touch. Yeah, I was literally scheduled to go in the day they shut everything down. So
Oh,
that's why my beard is shaved because I was like a mess, and my hair is just I'm just letting it do its thing until it's time. But yeah, I think EMOM Box face masks would be big, and
yeah,
because you never know. I mean, somewhat joking, but you never know. Boxes may require it, and people may feel personally like I have one. My wife has one. We don't wear it a whole lot, but it's not. Who knows? Hopefully, we never need them, but
exactly.
you
Yeah,
never know. So let
that's
me
kind
let
of
me
what
ask
I've
you
been
some
saying.
entrepreneurial questions. I mean, that's what I'm excited about. I'm always impressed by
Sure.
people like you. It's like the old Ronnie Coleman quote: "Everybody wants to get strong, no one wants to lift these heavy weights." And it's the same when it
That's right.
comes to entrepreneurship. Everybody wants to work for themselves, no one wants to put in the work. Actually, I need to write that down. I like what I just said. Once in a
That was
while when I
good.
say something smart. Um,
That's right.
but you were saying it's just a one man show. What's it gonna take? Like when you look at a company like yours, it's clearly doing well. I mean, I don't know your financials, but I can do some math in my head, right? And when are you gonna bring on employee number one?
That's a good question. I have it is a thought that's in my mind very, very often, and I am getting to the point every month at this point in time of the month. Actually, it's funny that you're talking to me on this day. I was just telling you before we hit record that I'm actually packing the monthly orders to go out. So the May EMOM box will be shipping out over the next couple of days, and this really is the point in time that I feel the strain the most as far as it being a one man show. And my family does help me out quite a bit. Like I said, I've got two I've got two daughters that one's 16, one's actually they just had birthdays. One's 17, one's 12. I got a
Oh, so
5 year
you've
old.
got some cheap labor
I've got
going on. You've
yeah,
got
I've
some,
got some
okay.
labor,
Yeah.
but you know, they've got virtual schoolwork they're trying to do and things like that. I don't like breaking them away. You know,
I
and I
was
don't like
just,
forcing anybody to work on EMOM Box because quality control, again, you got to have it
yeah,
top
I hear
notch.
you.
I don't want any emails about people having missing product in their boxes.
But it's funny,
You
I was
know?
just talking to Roz, we're, doing the whole kid thing, talking about it. And I'm like, and I said to her, and I was being serious, I was like, I don't know that I would send my kids to school right now. And not because of the corona thing. I'm just saying in life. And I think there's the lessons they would learn, in your garage or wherever you're boxing these things up are potentially more valuable than what they're getting out of school. Now, of course, my kid's not gonna, you know, get, skip math and history and all that. But point is, you know, there's a lot that can be learned and potentially more valuable, working on the EMOM box than dissecting a leaf. Well,
Yep. Yeah, I can agree with that in a lot of senses. And I grew up on a farm, and I had worked shift work at a paper mill, and there was he would be either have to sleep schedule, he'd have to leave at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and work until midnight or whatever. And so a lot of the customer interaction or the day in and day out work that was done on our farm was left to me. You know, I was 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. And I, again, shouldn't probably have been doing this, but I'd be driving around on the road, going from point A to point B, just trying to take care of what needed to be taken care of. We sold hay. We made square bales of hay. We have a cattle operation as well. So there's a whole lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts always going on. And I feel like that was really that really taught me most of what I know about entrepreneurship today, to be honest with you. And there's still, of course, things are ever changing. Technology brings new and crazy elements into it. But I feel like what I learned as far as like what's ingrained in work ethic and things like that is what I got from working on my family farm. So and I feel like, just like you're saying, there's a lot of value to be had in getting your hands dirty and really kind of having a mentor or somebody like that you can kind of work day in and day out, that they'll tell you like it is, tell it to you straight. And I'm, again, thankful for all of the mentors and sales managers and things like that I had at the motorcycle dealerships that I worked in, and things like that. So yeah.
what's your type of motorcycle? You a Harley or a crotch rocket?
Oh, so I actually, I worked at a Harley dealership. It was actually the very first dealership I ever worked at, Richmond Harley Davidson. I worked in the service department. So I'm not a huge Harley guy, but there's a lot of things about the Harley Davidson brand and motorcycle and experience that I like a lot. If
Have you
I
read
could
um have you read Start With Why?
I haven't, no.
Great book, Simon Sinek, one of my favorite. If you have not seen his video, TED Talk, just Google it, Simon Sinek
Yeah,
TED
I've checked
Talk.
that
It's like
out.
but he talks about Harley Davidson, and it's all about, hey, there's this brand that people are tattooing on their bodies. Like
Yeah,
clearly they're doing
yeah,
something right.
exactly. That's a great point.
And
That is
those
a
are
great
people
point.
that
Yeah,
don't even have Harleys potentially. Like it's obviously it's a brand, but it's a way of life.
it is. You're right. You're right. You're 100% right. It is an iconic thing, and it's just kind of like we were talking about earlier with fitness brands. It is a lifestyle. It's not, to some people it is a thing or whatever. It's a hobby, but a lot of people it is a lifestyle. And so yeah, like if I could get any Harley, I would probably get a deluxe Softail. That was always my favorite bike. It's been around for a long time, but after I left, I've always been a motocross guy. Like that's my thing at the end of the day. Like motocross is what does it for me. That's my true love and passion. Probably even more so than fitness, to be honest with you. I just love dirt bikes and dirt bike racing. And so I went to work at a local Honda Yamaha dealership. I actually had a Ducati Hyper Motard for a while. That thing was super cool. Anything that's like unique and off the wall, like I'm all over it. And that bike was really cool in so many ways. But yeah, like hey, if it's got two wheels, man, like I'm pretty much like all for it. There's nothing that I really like turn my nose up at or say like, if it's got two wheels and they'll roll, then you need to be on it riding.
So I'm 5'3", so you can guess what Harley I was interested in.
Sportster.
Yeah. So I got my motorcycle license, but I never wound up pulling the trigger and buying a bike. You know, it was always like I want to get this motorcycle, but I'm still just too afraid to be out there. And I was like, that's no way to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, and it's nerve wracking, man. I'll be honest with you. Like here, where I live, it the population has grown a lot. The roads are a lot busier than they ever have been before, and that was really, to be honest with you, that was one of the reasons why I ended up getting rid of the last road bike that I had. My wife and I, we would go out and ride it on Sundays, and we would have a great time. But yeah, just a couple close calls is really all it took for me, and I was like, I feel more at home in the dirt anyways. So I was like, let me just, get rid of this thing and go back to my roots.
So has there been any company that's like the white whale that you want to get for the box that you've just not been able to?
Ah, I don't think so. Pretty much everybody that I've reached out to has been pretty cool with trying to work with me. And sometimes there's a lot of items that I would love to get in a box, but again, like I was saying earlier, just with the size and the weight or the price point, um, I have a pretty decent product budget for each box, but I tell you, shipping cost is another thing that just keeps creeping up and up and up and up. And for domestic orders, I actually don't charge shipping. That's kind of one of the perks with my boxes. If you live in the USA, you don't charge shipping on any order at the EMOM box. So yeah, it's a fine balancing act. There's a couple brands that I have coming up that I'm going to be working with that I haven't worked with before that I'm really excited. One of them is Two Pood.
Oh, Tupood. I
You
had
know,
their shorts from 15 years ago now when they first started
yeah,
at regionals. I had the Tominski short. I don't know if you know who Dan Tominski was, but former games
yes,
athlete, Long Island.
yep.
Um, just sold CrossFit Lindy actually not too long ago. I've seen his post, but there was a pink pair of shorts that were like his kind of name, and they were one of my favorite pairs. Yeah, Two Poots, great company.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, of course, I think that I probably know them more for their belts. I think that they've really kind of, taken that bull by the horns, and
Oh, for
and they're
sure.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, they're really well known for that. So we're gonna actually, well, I'm not gonna spoil it. Actually, you're gonna have to
All
wait to
right.
get the sneak peeks. I almost dropped the surprise, but
All right. No way.
we're doing
Can't wait.
something really cool actually with them, and the box is gonna be everything Two Pood. So like it's gonna be the Two Pood cross, EMOM box
We can't
that
get an
month, and I'm
exclusive. We can't get an exclusive here on Best Hour of Their Day. We're just
let's just say so. They're most well known for their belts, so we're gonna try to slide one of those in there if it
sounds like
works.
sounds like
Uh,
people need to be subscribing right now
they,
because
they
that's
do,
going to
yes,
sell
and
out.
there's definitely going to be a limited run, and I do anticipate that one will sell out. So that's one brand that I'm really excited to work with that's coming up. There's some big brands that are out there. Like let's take Rogue for example. I mean, they've got some really cool products. Obviously, they have a great customer base. That's an iconic brand in CrossFit. But do I see any value in them really being part of an EMOM box? Probably not. So like that may be the only thing that I would
Value
say.
for
I'd love
you,
to.
not necessarily for them.
Yeah, not for them. Yeah,
Right.
they probably spend ton. They probably spend more on marketing in a month than my revenue is for a year. So and I've had an opportunity to work with some of their sponsored athletes before, and even in having conversations with them, we just haven't really felt like it was worth really trying to pursue that. So we just kind of went down other avenues because that was one of the things actually when I started EMOM Box. You scroll through your Instagram page and whether it's an ad or it's a post from an influencer, somebody reviewing or a professional athlete, there's tons of great small businesses and small brands that people are starting because it's their passion project. They have this special skill, and those are the brands really that when I started the box that I wanted to to partner with to try to help give them some more reach and some more exposure and things like that. So I do like to work with smaller brands, as much as I can. I know one brand that pops in my mind is Talty Bars. I've worked with them a couple times over the last couple years, and each time, the company has grown a little bit more. And Tim and I, the owner, have become great friends. He's actually a subscriber to the EMOM Box now as well. But like I said, the packaging was small. He was kind of like a one person operation, and then the next time it was a little bit different. And the next time he was a little bit bigger. So I really like that element a lot, as well as working with the smaller brands too.
Well, all right. You, this has been great. We've learned all about the EMOM box, and I highly recommend people check it out. I'm a huge supporter. I mean, you want to support small businesses, this is the way to go, because you're not only supporting, you're basically supporting like 5 to 7 companies every
Yeah,
month.
exactly.
So really good stuff. But I want to put you on the spot for a second, Eric.
Okay, go ahead.
So first of all, what I love, we get a lot of guests on Best Hour, and I'd say 80 to 90% of them are like, cool, let's chat. Once in a while, people will be like, oh, send me the questions. I'm like, I don't have them because I don't really know. And I just like to freestyle. So you've been great about that. So I'm going to put you on the spot. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Imagine we're recording this on a Friday. I've not watched a lot of TV, but I know Shark Tank is usually on Fridays. So imagine you're on
Oh,
Shark Tank right now and you have to
yep.
pitch the EMOM box. What's your pitch to them?
Oh man, you're making me sweat in the collar. Let me see. What would my pitch be to the Sharks?
Because keep in mind, whatever you're going to say now, we're going to get the listeners, we get a few thousand downloads for every episode. I'm telling the listeners now, this is a great product. I'm looking forward to my box. We contribute to it because we support you. But what would you say?
I would say again, like when you asked me first, that I'm the face of this brand, and everything that goes in that box and everything that we do, I stand behind fully. That's kind of the biggest thing that I hang my hat on with EMOM Box, is that, again, I'm a guy that you can reach out to. It's not a team, that has customer service line or whatever. I'm the guy. You're going to get me. If you have an issue, you've got a comment, a concern. I'm Eric. I'm your guy, and I'm going to be there for you. That's the biggest thing. And then the next thing is, again, just like I was telling you earlier, is vetting the products. I get my hands on all the products that go in the box. I want to check for quality. I want to check for the fitment, so I can give advice to customers when they ask, hey, are these going to run big? Are they going to run small? Should I size up? Should I size down? Another product that pops in my mind, I know has been a past guest on your show, Chris from Calicure. Same thing, I've used Chris's hand files, and they are the best. They last for over a year. He
He's a good
guarantees them
dude.
for a year. He is. He's a great guy. I really like. He's another person that I'm so thankful we've developed a relationship by working through EMOM Box, and he's been in the EMOM Box like 3 times now. We actually have an EMOM Box branded Calicure, actually, and I just love those products.
I
Like I
don't
said, I
need it
use them.
anymore with training at home, unfortunately.
Yeah,
My
no
hands,
rig, no bars.
yeah, my hands aren't getting too beat up on the Peloton bike, but other than, but I still support Chris.
Yeah, definitely. He's a fantastic guy. I really like everything that he's doing. And you want to talk about somebody that's passionate about business, about training, about their brand, and about everything that they believe in. He is the guy. He is, he can be the North Star for an example of being passionate about what you believe in.
Absolutely. And, people are getting EMOM box tattoos. So it's a brand, it's a lifestyle now, just like Harley Davidson. Have you ever considered having something in and then it goes through your test and you're like, this doesn't cut the mustard? You don't have to say specifically what it is, but
Sure. Yeah, I've had things like that. And again, a lot of brands have multiple product offerings. So, maybe one thing is fantastic and maybe they're still in the development phases of something else. And so I'll provide feedback and say, hey, I think if you change this or change that, then we, could really be onto something, with this, or I think you've got a really great idea or a great product, and yeah, again, with the curation and sliding pieces in and out, sometimes things just don't exactly work out for pricing or time frame or quantities, and things like that. So yeah, there have been a few things I've tested in the past that just haven't made it.
I'm gonna put you in contact with two of my buddies after this. Dale from Doc Spartan, because we got to get that beard
Yeah.
of yours cleaned up, and then my good friend Nick from Ice Age Meals.
Yes. So Dale, I actually I'm trying to think. Is his wife? Is her name Renee? I want to say.
I'm not sure.
Um, they've been in the box a couple times before.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
they
Yeah,
actually. I've done their hand bomb. I did a trifecta box actually. There, it was their hand bomb, a Calicure hand file, and then a Victory Grips gift card.
sweet.
That's kind of my hand care.
That's a great.
I don't know what it would try. I guess trifecta is the best word to use. I use the Victory Grips pretty much exclusively for training, and then I use Chris's files to take care of my hands. And then it's always good to have a good moisturizing balm, to put on there to keep things supple and clean. But yeah, Ice Age, I actually have gotten several Ice Age meals in the past, and they've been pretty cool. They've been good stuff. He's got a cool team of athletes too. I was watching, I think it was Stacy Tovar that was in the kitchen with him not too long ago, was doing something. So yeah, he's got a really cool brand there. Talk about OG. He's been around for a long time now.
Yeah, we were out in Reno not too long ago, right before this whole thing happened, and he's a great dude. We've got some Thunderbro meals coming out in the future, but I'll definitely
Oh,
put in a
nice.
good word. I'm talking to him later, and yeah, the Doc Spartan face moisturizer, I use it every day, and I love it.
Awesome.
So good stuff. Well, Eric, it's been a pleasure getting to know you over the last few weeks and months, and I'm really proud and excited to know you. And if you ever need anything, we'd love to share you. And if you're listening to this episode, obviously the May box is sold out, but hop over there, subscribe to whatever you put out there, follow them on Instagram, and make sure that you hit up that June box. And whenever that 2 food box is going to come out, be on there ahead of time, because your boxes sell out almost every month, right?
Yep, they do. They do.
So
Yeah. And if I have some left, it's only like a small handful and some, one-off sizes. And I put out sneak peeks on social media, but I also, if you're on my text messaging or email list, you'll get first dibs on any kind of sneak peeks. That's usually kind of how I roll with letting things out. Is if you're a member subscriber, you get first dibs. If you're on the email list or text list, then you get the notifications next, and then I'll put a blast out on all the social channels to let everybody know, what's coming in a box or what they can expect from EMOM in the coming months. I've got a photo shoot scheduled on Sunday with some upcoming products, so we'll have some good content coming out.
yeah, you're gonna have to have more kids as you grow to get that business grow, working. You need more
Yeah, I know.
employees.
I don't know.
You need to
I
have a
don't know.
son. You need to have a son coming out there, you know?
Yeah, yeah. My little boy, he's 5. He probably tries to help the most, but probably is the least amount of help, unfortunately, in the
For
grand
now.
scheme of
For
things.
now.
For now, yeah, definitely.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Eric. And like I said, everybody, if you're listening, go check out Eric, check out the EMOM Box, and support this amazing company.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
Thanks for listening to Best Hour of Their Day. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. How cool is that? There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, so it becomes super simple. Some of these episodes with Fern or Todd or myself chatting with one another, we've done right within the app itself. Anchor will make it easy to distribute your podcast to all platforms, Spotify, Apple, and many more. And you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make an awesome podcast in one place. All you have to do is download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Come on, who doesn't have Spotify at this point? And if you were unaware, Spotify now is offering podcasts. That's right. On Spotify, you can listen to all your favorite artists, but also podcasts in one place for free. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now, Best Hour of Their Day. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcasts so you never miss an episode. Premium users can even download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are. something I always do before I hop on a plane. And you can even easily share what you're listening to with your friends on Instagram and other social media platforms. Here's the deal. If you haven't done so already, be sure to download the Spotify app, search for Best Hour of Their Day on Spotify, or browse some other podcasts if you want. You can find them in your library tab. And also make sure to follow me so you never miss an episode of Best Hour of Their Day. Thanks again for listening to Best Hour of Their Day, and thanks again to our special guest. We appreciate all you guys do for us with Best Hour of Their Day when it comes to sharing our posts on Instagram, when it comes to subscribing to us on YouTube, when it comes to the constant feedback. We are grateful and we appreciate it. We are trying to build a community based on coaching development and becoming the best version of yourself. And it goes without saying that we couldn't do without all of you. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Season 1 of Dropping In is out. We are getting tremendous feedback and we'd love for you to check it out. Leave us a comment on there. Head over to our Instagram. Give us a follow. Like our pictures. Feel free to share anything that resonates with you. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or feedback for us, please don't hesitate. Email us besthouroftheirday@gmail.com. Thanks again. Until the next episode, we hope you've had the best hour of your day.